TV is brought to you by Blascon. Color your world.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The Journey program on UBC TV is brought to you by Blascon. Color your world.
Hello, viewers of UBC. I'm glad to be with you at this juncture. My name's Isaac Mulindwa Makenawa. I was born in 1939, November 12th. I started schooling in 1947 with Madarasa School, because by that time Muslims, they used not to go to Christian schools because of my father or my fathers were afraid. Perhaps if they take their kids to secular schools, they can divert them and change mindset to be a Christian or whatever. So that's why I started with a Muslim madrasa, down, sitting down on the floor without chair. And the mualimu, by then we had abalimus. We didn't have sheikhs. Sheikhs are just a new title created recently, but before they were all mualim, called mualim. This somebody who knows than you. So he can teach you a Quran and the hadith of Nabi Muhammad, and you understand that is a pure mualim. You as a student, you have to follow his commands. I was born in Mbarara, Ruharo, the year I have said, 1939. And my mother, he had my eldest brothers and sisters, 5 of them, I was the last, the 6th boy, last born. But most of those ones who were born before me, she was just going to the banana plantation and give birth. But me, she decided to take me in the hospital, the first hospital in Ankole, which is in Ruaro. It was headed by a midwife by the name of Brewer. She came from UK during the colonial time, and she was in charge of that hospital, which still exists up to now. But it has changed. It has turned into school, but originally it was a hospital for that midwife, for the Uganda protected government, the first one. Now I was born there. The good thing where I was born on that date at 4 a.m., the routine of that midwife, she used to come in the hospital and do recording, looking for the patients, who delivered, who is not delivering. But she found on that day that my mother has delivered a brilliant boy, very beautiful looking baby. She asked the nurse, because the nurse used to speak English, to translate. Hey, how this delivered at what time? The nurse replied to the midwife at 4 a.m. Then the midwife, an English woman, she said, oh, a daytime. My mother, she was illiterate. She has never gone in school, nothing, but she had day. She was proud of day. After 2 days of my birth, she was discharged and went back with me to my father at Ruharo, and she was welcomed. Before she speak anything to my father, she told my father, oh, the European, the Muzungu, named my boy. Give him a name. And my father asked her, what name? She replied, Day. And since then, I was called Day. She was meaning something else, and she understood something else. I left Mbarara after schooling, from various schools, high school, Gaboy Muslim primary school, and the Muslims, they had no senior secondary in Ankole. It was only Kibuli. And I passed very well. I had to go to Kibuli, senior secondary, started there. From Kibuli, I joined the Kibuli teacher training. I was trained as a teacher by then. Then from there, I couldn't stop there. I joined Arapai Agricultural College, right? And from there, I started working in the Ministry of Agriculture at Entebbe as a clerk. But because I used to speak a good English with my supervisor, who was a Muzungu commissioner next to him, unfortunately, those commissioners from Britain, they didn't have any knowledge of agriculture. But for me, because I had studied agriculture, I was very useful to him, almost doing the whole donkey job for him just to sign. I spent 6 months there. I found the salary was not suitable to me. I resigned. When I resigned, I applied for a job as a clerk in Industrial 6th Street. They had a company with 6 sawmills. They had the timber factories. One was in Budongo, in the Jinja sawmill, in Kalangala, something like that, and some cinemas. So I joined as a minor clerk there. Within 2 months, the manager, who was an Indian, an old man, found that I have a potential of intelligence, integrity, and honesty. He promoted me. He said, oh no, now we have some people to pay in these factories outside Budongo and so on. We want you to take money there. We are giving you a car, which was the Vauxhall 6. By then, they gave me a car and money, take it to the managers of those places, give them the bulk, and come back with the signature of those who have received in industry area. They were very happy with me because I couldn't take off anything out of it. I was just mind of my salary, an obedient student, a young man. Now, after a month, he found that I was very smart. Maybe I'll take his job as a manager of the business. The owner of that business was these Taliban Karasingers with the Taliban. I think you know them. He was based in Jinja. He used to come and see me, inspect my documents, my papers, my writings, my accountings. Then he sensed that he knew that I can do a good job. On the top of that, taking the money outside of Kampala, coming back without getting anything. By then, during those days, these Indians were out when they used to take money outside of Kampala. The thieves, condos, what you call condos, they get him in the way, ambush them, and get the money. But for them, they knew if I am driving a car, nobody will suspect that there is the money or what. So their money was secure by my driving the car alone. I did. And this manager of mine who really gave me the job, he sensed that maybe if I leave this boy, he can take over my what? Because I was friendly with his boss. Then he said, no, I double your salary. I want to give you a new taxi and you go and drive a taxi. So you bring money every day. He was doing that to get rid of me from where I am, fearing of his boss to give me his place. In 1963, I formed a company with my friends, and we used to import cars from Russia. Those make of cars were Vodka, Moscovich, not very many, because our company being an African company, of which I was managing director of it, we had no money, no credibility of the banks. The banks were giving priority to the Indians. We Africans were third class, but I refused. I was competing with the Indians, importing 2-3 cars from Russia and applying for the credit which I couldn't get, like that, with the embassy of Russia, what. Then on and on. In 1968, I got a loan from Greenleaf's Bank to purchase vehicles from France. And by then, I formed a new company, which is called Makinawa. That Makinawa, we were only two. Isaac Mulindwa, managing director, and Kizito Sebana as the secretary. Even today, the company belongs to only 2 people, ever since. But Kizito, who had his job as the managing director of NIC, doing his business, I was day-to-day running and the brain trust of the Makinawa. So successfully, I keep on going. In 1971, that was Obote 1. In 1971, Obote was overthrown by Amin. Amin, when he took over, he didn't know that there is an African who is in the business of motor vehicle. During that time, my first consignment of 100 vehicles from France arrived by train. Surprisingly, because even the Amin was new in government, everything was in shambles, and the vehicle was on train down on the yard. Very many of them, 100 of them, he thought, or they thought, perhaps those vehicles were going to Rwanda, until he was told, no, there is an African here, Ugandan, he's in that business, he brought the vehicles. He says, what? He was not sure whether there is an African who can do that. He says, what? Yes, who is this? He's called Makenawa. The following day, he says, if I have people like Makenawa, let me chase away the Indians. On the radio, he announced all the British subjects to leave his country because he was sure there is an Africans who can do their business better than them. Marriage was not very simple to me. I was a very young man, very having money, very little bit educated and all this. And I was not interested in marrying. All those days from, let me say 55, that's when, in 55, that's when I got my first driving permit, in 1955. As a young man, I was not interested in marrying, but my mother, when she saw me on that age, she knew I'm now ready to marry. He used to talk to me and advise me, please, I want you to get married. And I was so scared. Oh, furious. I didn't want her to tell me about that. Because during those days, it is a taboo. Your mother tell you a thing like that. So I couldn't answer anything. But whenever she had a chance, I want you to marry. I want to see your proposals and everything. I say yes, the time will come. Now, in 1960, I was staying in Ntinda. I signed an agreement with this Governor Cohen at Entebbe for residence in Ntimba Semawata Road. I stayed in that house for some time. My neighbors were Obote. Before he joined the parliament or became a president, he was a parliamentarian from Arua, from Lira. Next to him was Grace Ibingira from India, an advocate. Another one was Sebaru, an advocate. So on that road were elite people. In 1960, Lumumba in Congo, the prime minister, he chased away the Greeks and the French. He said that no, you have championed the economy of Congo, get out of my country. It was a chaos. So those Europeans used to come through Mpondwe up to Kampala, and they have nowhere, they had nothing. So the British government decided for us who have got a decent homes at Ntinda to ask us to accommodate two couple, a woman and a man, or a young lady and a young boy, two, until the day for them to board a ship from Luzira to Mwanza to Dar es Salaam and to their destination, wherever they want to go, Belgium or where. There were so many in the thousands, but for me they gave me two. Now, unfortunately, with those two couples, they used to speak French. Me, I don't. They used to speak French. Me, I don't. They knew Lingala. Me, I don't. I speak English and Luganda, no Swahili. I didn't know Swahili by then. But by interacting with them on foot and expressing themselves, I knew there is a virtue there, where they come from. So I need to go there. And I used to tune on the radio of Kisangani all the time. I had a car and a lorry which had a radio in called Pi. Very powerful. You can put a station and you hear anything. So the music from Kisangani radio station was very powerful. Congolese music. I loved it. I said, no, I should go to Kisangani. I didn't know where Kisangani is. I get my driver. We drove. I stopped off Katwe, Lake Victoria. My sister, she's also here, the one I follow. I told her I'm going to Kisangani. She said, farewell. Crossing the customs, Beni, from Katwe Customs to Kisangani. It is over 1,000 miles. I didn't know that. But then I don't speak the local language. Neither of them speak my language. In the way, I got my sisters, I got my mother up to Kisangani. When I reached there, I bought a house from a priest who was still in the church. Even that house was left by his colleagues or his followers for sale. He sold to me a double-story house in town, of which I have still the agreement with me now. By then, when I stayed in that house, I was very much loved with my mother and my sister and my brother Semairich, where we are now. All of them have passed away. But I liked them very much for various reasons. I decided to come and see them in 61. When I came, I stopped with my sister at Katwe. She also said, hello. Now, Katwe, I saw my wife, a young lady. Also, she was a refugee because she's a breed of Europeans. She was a European, or something like that. She was there in Katwe, and she told me I saw her. Maybe she loved me. For me, I was just a hoy boy. I left. When I reached my mother at here where we are, she said, when are you marrying? I said, I will marry. Then I went back to Congo again. When I was in Kisangani, I have a brother of mine who was driving a lorry for the Indians, transporting kerosene in tins. He came with a letter from that young lady. She requested me to marry her. In that letter, when I read the letter, and I was convinced with that brother of mine, he said, hey, this young lady, she's mad with you, I don't know why. She said, you have to marry her. And I said, how can I marry her? So I didn't take it seriously. I came with a letter, find her in Katwe. She told me, I want to introduce you to my parents. She had a mother there and a stepfather somewhere. I said, yeah, if that is true. I asked my sister. She said, fine. She's the young lady. She was 14 years. And I was 18, something like that. I said, okay, but I had the money. She introduced me to her parents. Some we are still in Congo. Some a few with her. Then we got married in Katwe, official marriage. But my fear was, my mother was always telling me, don't jump with the hoy-hoys, women, those hoas, don't bring them here. I want you to marry, official marriage. Now I've already engaged myself in Katwe with the official marriage of my wife. And my mother, she was away about 60 miles from Katwe up to here. I had no way how I can take this young lady to her that I have married there. So I sent my sister to come and tell my mother and all the relatives, the friends, that my wedding, another wedding will be here, where we are. For my wife, I'm bringing my wife. I had a very beautiful car. I drove my wife. When we reached, we went to her. I had my daughter there, the daughter of my brother. She had these dresses, how would you call them? I don't know, for wedding, the robes and everything, and the bride, whatever. I drove my car here. We sit here. We found so many people here, and my mother was very happy with so many people. We got a lot of things here, where we are now. So my wedding was 2 in 1.
Tuliko ground, Plascon, paint and win. Yes, yeah, Plascon, paint and win. Tuliko ground, Chicho, buy paint worth 100K. Get a scratch card, SMS the code 27197. Stand a chance to win instant airtime, 1 million shillings bully day there, or a share of a 3 million shillings jackpot each week. What do you want the brand new podas, tuk-tuks, and so much more. Catch the paint and win action every Monday on Bukede One, NBS, and Sanyuka TV. Plascon, color your world.
All along, when I bought in 1972 that farm from Indians, those who were not, we were a citizen of Uganda, I bought that farm and paid them. We made an agreement. They had 200 acres. They were planting pawpaws, milking, papain, exporting it to Holland. So I bought the farm. In fact, there were 2 farms, one was there, another one in Kwapeka. And they had about 200 workers. They handed all 200 workers to me. I continued with the pawpaw business and the coffee business. They had a coffee factory there, which is still around. So I keep on going, and with all workers with me. But then I got difficult of selling papain to Holland. By then, the Europeans and the Americans had boycotted everything from Uganda because Amin had taken over and they expelled Indians. He was not in good books. They say we are not buying things from Uganda. And pawpaw and papain, nobody buys. We didn't know what is the out of papain. It is only the scientists who are in Europe to get that. Then I abandoned the papain business. I just bought Frisian vehicles from Germany, fly them in Uganda here. There were about 200 of them by air. Frisian, I was the first African to bring Frisian cows. Even the local people, when they saw a Frisian cow with the strips, white and black, whatever, they were surprised to see a cow looking like that. They refused even to buy its milk because the production of milk per cow, it was 40 liters per day. And this in indigenous over was half a liter. So you can't compare. And then they decided they were campaigning, no, this milk of Haji, because the cows are drinking a lot of milk, it is a lot of water. They refused also to drink with the water of a Frisian cow. They refused even to eat a meat of that one. But gradually, now they are really, they don't ask. There and then, the guerrilla war started, 76 or 7, something like that. 1980, it was in full swing. Museveni decided of going in the bush. We also decided of going in the bush. I joined the guerrilla activities. We fought to overthrow Obote, of which we did. That farm of mine, because it had 408 exotic animals with 30 acres of banana plantation, with 100 plantation of coffee, plus goats and cows. We are all there. So His Excellency the President, they decided to stay there. It was a good place for them to stay there. A good place on a hill or something, everything. Food was there, water was there. So they had no problem. Who was there? The President, Charlie Gonza, I don't know, he's junior now. By then they are called commanders. These titles became later on. Museveni was still chairman. Charlie Gonza, Chigongo, Jen Nareiso, Utafire, all of them were on my farm. And they were there for 5 years. They ate everything. And when they were chased away by the Armenian guns, they ran away, they left a farm abandoned. Those Obotes, when they came, they killed everything, destroying my houses, destroying everything, nothing. Then in 85, he came back in my farm, found nothing, no even a footprint of my cows or anything. The doors on the windows, the houses were destroyed, vandalized, thorough. Then I had to start fresh with the cows again. I bought cows from again, another 200 from Europe. Staying with them now, keep on going. The cows, it takes 2 years or 3 years to to mature, to sell. The price is not good. You spend a lot of money, and the drugs were not effective. We got bichukuri drugs. Cows were just killed or anything, you see. So I also decided not to go ahead. I started to create something new. I started off selling my ideas to the authorities of World Authority. They welcomed me. They said, yes, we want you to do this. UWA, Uganda Wildlife Authority. They told me to apply. I did. They gave me a certificate, a permission to rear the animals, those which are really almost extinct, because they are no longer. I'll be a model, and they train people to live side by side with animals, not to kill. Because we Africans, we are very fond of killing an animal, even a rat. If a rat crosses on your face, you bring a stick and kill it. Why? A snake going its way, you want to kill. No. My center is to train you and stop that habit. That's why I have started off the Isaac Wild Farm Ranch, and now it has started. I have some zebras which are already delivered. I'm hoping to have 5,000 different animals, even from Uganda, outside Uganda, rears. They will be there for a purpose of educational people, for my people country in Uganda. Every year I used to celebrate that, but this time my children's, my children, my brothers, my family, they told me that no, you are 85 years, you have been in Kampala, staying there, celebrating that, but this time we want to bring celebration here, and we do it on your behalf. I've spent nothing. Whatever they have organized, it is for them, men and women. Now we are celebrating 85 years, organized by my family, my friends. That's why I'm here.
Twebaza Katonda olw'emyaka egyo. Tumwebaza olw'okumukuuma nga mulamu. Tumwebaza olw'okumuwa amaanyi. Tumwebaza olw'okwagala n'essanyu byalina eri abazzukulu be. Era bw'abadde ayogera agambye temuyinaayo jjajja mmwe mulala amwenkana. Ye jjajja kakati alina emyaka egiwera 85. Jjajja Haji Makinawa Mulindwa, njagala okukwebaza akaseera kano olw'okusooka okutwaniriza munyaniriza basebu ne bannyaba abazzukulu mwakatuuka naye ffe twatuse essaawa nga 5 awo 6 twabadde tuli mu kitundu era twafunye dda obugenyi obw'enjawulo naye ate butuuse ku ntikko nga mukadde waffe akwasa Katikkiro Dr. Dungu Livingstone ow'ekika ekyendiisa ekirabo kino jjajjaffe tusiimye nnyo, tusiimidde ddala naye jjajja tusanyuse nnyo okutwaniriza era abazzukulu basanyufu nnyo. Ebigambo byange Katonda abampeera omukisa.
We want to thank first and foremost my brothers, mainly Ismail Cheyune Haji, the late, who educated me, and he was not educated, was illiterate, but I was like his son, whereas I was his brother. Next, I want to thank my mother. She disciplined me. The all discipline I have because of my mother. The third one, my wife. I've been with her, with all of these rehearsals. I had a problem because she was the European, I was an African. I was not welcome to her parents. They knew once she's married with Muganda, an African, she will be, tortured, what. Now I had a problem there. Then I got another problem with my family. When they looked at her here on our wedding, they say, yeah, this young man, he married the Muzungu, is he going to manage? So they were always taking me, say, you not manage, you not manage. You not manage, we have managed. She has managed to persevere with me, with my aloofness, with my cleanliness, now up to 63 years, which is not it's a long journey. Last one, the organizer of this occasion, to invite everybody. My clan Katikiro is present here. I'm the Jaja grandfather of my clan, and I'm the last grandfather of the whole clan. Therefore, they also come here to celebrate. Lastly, I thank the UBC, especially the Uganda government. Uganda government to allow us have a peace in this country. Before it was not easy to travel from Kampala and you come and take an audience and take a recording voice like the way you are doing. I really thank the government and thank you, especially Kalunda and your team, to be present. Thank you very much. My contact, if you want to see me, telephone 0772 50 2242. Also the WhatsApp, you'll find it there. I have email. Please, if you want to know anything, I'm a senior citizen with 85 years. I've been here all along from colonial time, independence, up to today. I say all this for God and my country. Long live Uganda.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Oh! Super Soul Sister